The map, our blue Protoss player from Ting, taking down Gumiho in a pretty crazy 5-game series. It is Neeb. You gotta keep that in mind as well, by the way. He just played 5 intense PvTs, which uThermal was able to watch. And so that is going to be favoring uThermal. A, he could watch it. B, Neeb should be a little bit betrayed. A little bit fatigued, sorry. And, yeah. That's kind of benefits that uThermal can use going into this game. To the south side of the map is going to be the red Terran player. It is uThermal from Team Liquid. Am I going to cast all of OSC till the end as Kosh Vorlon? Yes, I am. I'm very well prepared for have a long night ahead of me. It's going to be really, really awesome. I'm really looking forward to it. Should be a lot of good games. So hopefully you guys are thinking the same. I'm going to see a probe from Neeb coming down to the south side. Just going to be scouting here early. Again, this is our second best of 5. We're going to have 10 matches for you guys tonight. 9 best of 5s. It's actually the finals is a best of 7, right? So we're going to have a lot of games still to come. We've got way more action coming your way with players such as Nurture. We've got the winner of this plays against True, actually. The winner of that then plays against Scarlet, who took down Champ 3 games to 1. The winner of that plays Snoot. We're going to be bringing you guys coverage of all of those games. We'll be casting Nurture's next match in the losers bracket, which will be against either Keen or Stats or Demilove, if I'm not mistaken, or Patreus. That section of the bracket still being played out as we speak. So a lot of really cool sections of the bracket coming on up. Really looking forward to all of it. Just going to be a great night of games. It really, truly is. I can't thank you all enough for joining me here for what is going to be a really great night of games. It's just going to be fantastic. It really is. So sit back, relax, get yourself some food, get yourself some drinks. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know who you're cheering for. And we're going to crown ourselves an OSC champion together here tonight, live on WardiTV. Big shout out to the OSC system as well. Last time I said that, I went on and on about it and made a big deal, and people were like, stop talking about it and cast the game. So I will just say a big shout out to OSC, which is a fantastic tournament system, and which I'm very excited to work with next year as well. Going into 2017, we've already partnered with WardiTV Weekly with them. If you haven't heard about that, the WardiTV Weekly is this Monday, the first one of those. $100 on the line. We've got signups such as Zest, Alive, Solar, Classic, Stats, probably Bjorn soon as well, because I'm going to tell him about it today when I cast him. And yeah, it's basically some really, really good stuff coming up. So excited to kind of spread that love with you guys with OSC into 2017 as well. Now, uThermal's had a pretty good time himself throughout this OSC bracket. He was unstoppable in the in his group stage, finishing in first place over Impact. He did end up playing against Stats in the playoff matches to actually make it through to the bracket, and he did beat Stats 3 games to 2, so uThermal's TVP is definitely up there right now. I'm also going to be seeing this Adept just on a shade on forwards, having a little bit of a look to see what it can get done. So Adept just shading through here, doesn't really see too much. The Marines are being kept to the side, as uThermal will lift these Marines up in the medevac and go across the map to drop. He will leave his Widow Mines at home to defend against any potential Oracle play, which he's been unable to scout so far because of the fact that he didn't build a Reaper or anything early. So just going to leave those Widow Mines at home, and he might drop them in the near future with the next medevac as he moves in towards the top side of the map with these 7 Marines. So he's going to be moving up here. There's those Marines dropping off, and actually going to be seeing this Adept taking quite a bit of damage. Adept will fall, and I'm just going to be seeing that Observer overhead actually being pulled back right here. Maybe a scan to get rid of that. Maybe, maybe not. No, not just yet. I'm just going to be seeing this Robo Facility Corroded and boosting out of Colossus right now. So, Colossus being Corona boosted, so Neeb going into Colossi early. As uThermal will just back away from that overcharge. But forcing an overcharge already is nice. I wonder if he sees this Observer overhead right now. You know, if he sees that right there, well, that means he can scan and pick it off very easily. And if he's able to pick that off, he would be should put himself into a little bit of a bad position. As you remember, some players really like to go like this to try and spot those observers, just try and spot where that kind of thing, kind of invisible unit is. You see a lot of players doing that if you watch their first-person view sometimes. going to be seeing this medevac going up to the top side, and he's going to be dropping some widow mines in towards the mineral lines. We'll see how Neeb reacts to this. He's obviously got observers out, and he's got one obviously right here. He's got another across the map. We're going to be seeing these Marines trying to fight, and will actually just get cleaned up. A little bit of a mistake by uThermal, honestly, but at the same time he's dropping his widow mines. Double overcharge means that 2 widow mines go down before they can fire. The final widow mine actually does get a shot off. Kills 3 workers. Not the end of the world then. I mean, 3 workers isn't brilliant, but I mean, getting one kill per mine is actually generally considered to be pretty decent. So it's nice, and lost mining time now from this Liberator. uThermal just little bits of aggression while Neeb will begin to take his third expansion after defending this. Medevac from uThermal going to be dropping down in towards the main base. He's going to be switching his barracks onto tech labs now, getting ready to start up those upgrades, the Stimpack, the combat shields. And +1 has already finished up for him. It's actually a very early +1 attack from uThermal, going into the +1 armor upgrade now, which will line up with the Stimpack and the combat shields. So it's going to be moving forwards. Picks off the observer there. He does find that, and picking off the observer is really nice, actually, being able to get rid of that. It's, you know, we actually talk about observers being sniped all the time, and the very best players are the very best because they're able to snipe observers all around the map. Never forget that game of Tasia against Rain in some WCS season finals or something, where he sniped like 35 observers in Whirlwind. It was crazy. And it really just helped because, I mean, an observer is 75 gas. It's expensive. It also takes a lot of build time on the Robo facility, which means you build less Colossus and all the rest of that as well. And it all really does add up, and it obviously takes away map control, so there's so many benefits to picking off observers. The more observers you kill, the better, way better a position you're going to be in as the non-Protoss player. SDVs will transfer down in towards the third. We're going to be seeing a couple of these refineries are finishing up as well from uThermal now. Single pylon to the far left-hand side. Just going to be set up there. A few SDVs going down. I'm not actually sure what to. In fact, I have no idea. A few SDVs just going down. Oh, War Prism play. There it is. I was trying to look at my mini-map for some reason. I just couldn't spot it for some reason. So War Prism killing a few units. And we're just going to be seeing uThermal killed a few more probes as well. As I'm busy talking about other things, actual stuff is happening in the game, so sorry, I should focus up a little bit as these 2 Marines from uThermal are going to be heading on out towards the top side. I'm just going to be seeing this depth from Neeb. Just going to poke down, just actually pick off 1 Marine here, so that Marine will fall. I'm just going to be seeing the War Prism still moving around as well, so War Prism moving around, Marine will get a bit more damage onto it. The Adept is going to pick this off, so Marine falls, and well, there's 3 medevacs from uThermal loading up. And then you're going to start off by going over to the right-hand side of the map, and then up the right-hand side to try and drop off into towards the natural expansion here over the next few moments. Blink 1-1, about to finish up from Neeb, so he continues to set up into a pretty effective set of upgrades at this point. You can see this Nexus coming down on the far left-hand side, and, well, uThermal, a lot of use these medevacs, but again, if so many Stalkers in position, he would be suicidal to really try and dive in towards this natural expansion. Scans ahead of time, sees what the setup is, realizes that that is not a position he's going to be able to do much on in the very near future. Dep moves away from this watchtower as uThermal will just drop his units here for now and probably just keep them there until he feels he's got the opportunity to go somewhere else with those. Hallucinated Phoenix from Neeb will try and pick up information as well. And this sort of point in the PvT, well, it's really just about building up still. Going in towards 2 upgrades. For the Terran play, you want to get to a stage where you're able to start making a few more Liberators, which makes your army very powerful. And obviously, as you do that, you want to kind of move around with a bunch of medevacs. As you move around with a bunch of medevacs, try and harass and just try and take an advantage from there. The Protoss play obviously wants to minimize taking damage while getting into their own mid-game composition with a lot of Colossus and Disruptors. So that's the sort of goal from both right now. Neeb might get a little bit aggressive if he feels he has the opportunity with a couple of Colossus. We're going to see a lot of units starting to drop in here right now, just dropping on top of these Stalkers Colossus as well. uThermal just goes for this. I mean, one of these units got shut down instantly. One of the medevacs got shot down as soon as it dropped in. Widowmine's burrow, and they're not going to get any shots off at all until they go off on the Mothership core, which does die. uThermal loses a lot to kill. Well, nowhere near as much as he just lost there. Resources lost heavily favoring Neeb after that one. uThermal loads up 2 more medevacs to try and get them up the right side. These medevacs are going to have to try and find a way out of here, which isn't going to be easy. I guess he does get across the top side of the main, which means now it's a bit easier to go all the way along here and around through the top left to maybe find a bit of a different direction. We'll scan at the front as uThermal sees the edge of some of these units, but that's about it. And a few units over here. Actually have the High Templar in position, ready to feedback. He just hit and kill one of those medevacs. Hits all of them, but only kills one. It's not too big of a deal as uThermal try and drop in here again, but it's again just Neeb in a position ready to defend, and uThermal not finding the opportunity. Neeb onto 4 bases very easily then as see this Liberator going to try and set up. And he's actually going to reposition, and he's going to end up with a probe kill or two, so he's going to get some value. Stalkers will blink forwards and kill this Liberator to the right-hand side without much of an issue at all. So that Liberator goes down nice and quickly. And there's going to be seeing the another Liberator up the left, which is where this one Liberator is right now. Only gets 1 kill, and still going to be fairly successful as we see 2 Adepts taking off 3 SCVs. That should be all as Marines and Marauders come in and clean that up as well. So again, both players applying some damage, applying some harassment and getting a little bit of damage done here and there. Not too much, but just little bits and pieces. As these units will continue down the left, and Neeb will see what's going to happen now. As Zealots charge in, we're going to see Marine and Marauder cleaned up very swiftly. We'll see a couple more Liberators just sieging here. Marine at the front gets taken down. Another scan, and just going to be seeing one more hallucinated Phoenix moving forwards from Neeb. So, one more hallucinated Phoenix moves on forwards, and just going to go in towards the main base there as we see those Stalkers moving around to the right. uThermal with a lot of medevacs around the right-hand side is once again just going to keep on looking to drop. And this time, it might be his lucky try. I mean, well, the Militia Cordon has enough energy for 2 overcharges, so immediately that means that as he comes in, he actually, with 4 medevacs, or is it 3? Well, with 4 medevacs, he actually has 6. Okay, well, he can drop in here. Like, 2 overcharges should not scare him from this. High Templars will start to warp in as he goes along the kind of really long way around. Does lose a couple of medevacs instantly to the feedbacks, but will start to clean on up, and he will push these units away. Of course, a big response from Neeb as he starts to pull on in here. The Zarkon will go down as well. Widowmine helping out. Nexus taking some damage again, though, for the most part. It's a pretty good defense from Neeb. Stalkers taking some heavy damage to the Widowmines, and actually the Stalkers starting to go down quite quickly. These Marines and Marauders trading so well as the Stalkers just blink forwards and don't have the Adepts in front to tank. The Widowmine shot obviously helping out with that as well. 6 Wick is going down as well because of this Liberator to the left-hand side. uThermal was still attacking in multiple locations at the same time, realizing the potential with that multi-pronged aggression. And again, I mean, it's attacks which are not necessarily putting him in a great position, but it's keeping Neeb busy. Still feel as though Neeb's trading better, although it's still only 1,000 resources lost difference, so not too much here. I'm going to see a few Widowmines going down before anything else can happen. Disruptor Shot cleans up 2 more mines, and these Liberators still holding this left-hand side passageway. A few more Marines into the natural. They pick off the Mothership core before getting cleaned up by those Stalkers, and all of these Marines and Marauders just going to have to pull away as well. Too much of an army for Neeb. Getting into very aggressive positions now. uThermal has to really start thinking, how does he deal with this army? Because Neeb's starting to get a bit further onto the map, and the longer he gets kind of further forwards on this map, the more he gets kind of opportunities to really just come in and kill uThermal. uThermal has Liberator range, which is something he can utilize to try and stay alive. It's going to be very difficult though, and actually these armies are going to bypass each other, so uThermal will lose his 4th base, he'll stem into the 4th of his opponent. I mean, he will be able to kill this off, and then what does he do against this massive army which he's got to deal with here as well? So this 4th base will be traded out. Neeb's already rebuilding the base over here. And as we'll see, Neeb is going to have some Zealots up here too. I mean, the problem is uThermal was already behind on army supply, and he's going to lose a little bit more as well. Liberators are getting a lot of damage done. These Stalkers walking on into range of those. Big mistakes as now these Liberators will try to escape, and they might actually get away. He might even try and turn to fight against the Stalkers here and keep these Marines and Marauders alive. Might not be so bad an idea. Stalkers blowing forward. So many Liberators as the Zealots charging in as well. Storms come down. uThermal's army will disappear in the end. It was pretty one-sided in favor of Neeb. I was believing in those Liberators, man. I got told they're unbeatable. And hey, to be fair, I mean, they did do quite a bit considering he was so heavily outnumbered. You're going to be seeing one more Liberator up the left. uThermal will continue to try and harass here. Another 2 medevacs loading up, and they're going over to the right. But still, how does he defend against this larger army that's pushing through the center of the map? Well, there's just not really a way. I mean, he's got the Liberators, and I guess the one thing maybe that Neeb is maybe a bit scared to really attack in here, but I think he knows he just has a big advantage. So here we go. He pushes through. Liberators get targeted. The Zealots connect on the tanks. They go down. uThermal's already pulling his medevacs into the main base to try and hold on. And this is really not looking good at all. Lifts up his 3rd base. I mean, he's got a drop going up the right-hand side of the map, but I mean, well, he's going to attack into these couple of High Templars. Stalkers warping in too as the Observer spots this immediately. He's got the Mothership core here as well. He's also got that 4th base rebuilt, although not in the same location. It is somewhere to mine from. So Neeb has pretty much everything he needs. There's going to be 2 very dead medevacs. Well, Actually, medevac's don't get targeted, but either way, it's the same sort of effect in the end as we're going to be seeing everything cleaned out. And Neeb really plays quite nicely here to take game number 1. I'd say throughout the game he was able to just shut down the aggression of uThermal time and time again. Just doesn't give uThermal the opportunity to get into that kind of lead which he's looking for with this consistent aggression and this consistent drops around the map which he was going for. GG is called here as uThermal realizes that Neeb is just too far ahead, and it helps out the stream a bunch, but also it gives you guys a chance to win. There's $450 to be won from that survey from people who fill in the survey from our streamer only. So I think it's 2 lots of $100, 3 lots of $50, and 5 lots of $20, all available to be won if you fill out the survey. So if you can do that, it would be awesome. It helps the stream too, while giving yourself the chance to win. And those are all the ways you can support the stream as we kick off to the top right hand side of Daybreak for game number 2. It is going to be uThermal from Team Liquid, and he is sending a very early SCV across the map. Neeb is, I didn't realize, we were meant to switch, so I'm not going to agree like this, that's fine. To the bottom left hand side, the blue Terran player from Ting is going to be Neeb. I think uThermal really doesn't want to switch just because he's proxying right now. Proxy racks coming down, a couple of gases coming in as well. Now Neeb will scout this game, so moving on over to the right hand side, having a little bit of a look to see what he can get up to, look to see what's going on for uThermal. And he will realize, of course, the lack of barracks. So he's going to come in here, realize what's happening. uThermal, is he going to proxy the factory as well? It looks like he will. So uThermal really committing to this. I mean, he is double gas, so it's kind of expected. So fully on, fully proxying everything right now. Let's see how this goes. Another depot coming down here at the wall. I'm going to be seeing this reactor starting up on this barracks. The reactor starts on the barracks factory, about halfway done, and we just see how this game continues. I mean, it's going to be an interesting one. Neeb obviously going to have to focus on the defense, and that's why he's already putting down his first pylon in front of this Nexus here. So already putting down one pylon right here, and we'll be adding another one shortly. I mean, again, he sees across the map that not only is there not a barracks in the main base, but nothing else either. So you should know that pretty much everything is being proxied right now. Is this SCV chasing this probe? It's so close to dying, but I think the probe's regenerating now. Oh, no, it isn't. SCV picks up the kill. Picks up the kill. Another depot coming down and in the ramp. As now a starport comes up to follow up this cyclone. So setting up into that here, going to be seeing the triple set of buildings. We're going to be seeing Marines moving forwards. Mothership core and depth coming in, but with the cyclone as well, I feel as though the depth won't be an issue, and then the mothership core can be locked onto as well, of course. So either or puts them in a pretty good spot. A depth will come in, soak a couple of shots from the cyclone. Again, it's just forcing this early overcharge in this pylon. If you can force it already, you're kind of insane. You can see that Neeb does not want to put it down. Feels as though he has enough to hold on anyways, but now the pylon's off its shields. Now it's really getting a little bit troublesome, because now the pylon can maybe even be targeted down through an overcharge. Maybe it's not quite there yet, but it's getting there. So Neeb has to be very cautious. Second pylon is essential, of course. He does not want to lose this game because he doesn't have an overcharge available. There it is. Overcharge comes down, does get 2 Marines. Cyclone will turn, will be repaired by the SCV as well. And we're going to see a medevac on the way up as uThermal. I'm not sure what exactly his plan is. May elevate it up here into the main. Another pylon kind of fairly well positioned though already. uThermal will push through, starts this damage onto the next pylon. Overcharge is ready but hasn't been used just yet. Pulling back once again. SCV taking a little bit more damage once more. It's still not quite over. These 2 cyclones still seeing what else they can do. SCV gets targeted, which means no more repair. And uThermal now has this medevac. A third cyclone about to pop. And Liberate on the way. He comes forwards, and that'll be another pylon and another. And Neeb looks to have given up on his low ground expansion. He is pulling away into the main base. He's just going to sit up this ramp. He's on 3 gates. Warp gate about to finish. Another cyclone taking a little bit more damage. This is where the medevac will help out a lot. Neeb obviously not going to let this go down without a fight. We'll at least try and get some value out of the units which he has. Just microing back and forth right here, but it's a tough position. And when the Liberator comes out, that'll be very scary, because with the Liberator, this ramp will be, well, fully controlled by our Terran player. So with the ramp fully controlled, Neeb won't be able to poke in and out any longer. Now he's getting a Robo up, and I imagine a Warp Prism will be one of the main things he goes for. There's absolutely no defense back at home for uThermal. None here at all, so this is not looking pretty for him, as we're going to be seeing. Well, Liberator actually on Sieges will reposition just a bit further forwards, pushing on in. Has to be very careful as Overcharge is going to go down. uThermal will lose a single Cyclone. I mean, that's one of the first kind of beefier units he loses here. Until now, he's just lost a few Marines. Viking building a siege tank too. uThermal has to be careful. I mean, again, it comes down to the fact he has nothing at home, so the Warp Prism is not just a way for Neeb to break out, but it's a way for Neeb to get across the map and maybe just do game-ending damage, because what does uThermal do to kind of fight against that? Viking coming forwards now will give high ground vision, I guess can work his way through the mothership core a little bit. There is two Zealots going to load up into this Warp Prism and moves away from the main base. So he's going to move over to the right-hand side. Again, just nothing at home for uThermal to defend with, so it's a bit of a weird one. I guess he'll lift up some Marines or something in the medevac and send them back home, boost them back. Because I can't imagine what else he's going to really do here to be able to survive. He's got a tank pushing forwards now as well. So he sets that tank up towards the front, and he's going to start being able to work his way through that pylon. So giving himself the potential to keep on pushing through. In fact, pylon taking so much damage that uThermal realizes he can just go up here now. First force field isn't really good. uThermal can still move through into this. We're going to be seeing sentries going down. Another force field, but a little bit late. uThermal has to pull his SCVs away, so he loses production. Overcharge gets popped quite far back. Another Liberator tank will move forwards as well. Now we're going to be seeing pylons going down towards the production as he attacks in towards this Liberator. Another Liberator going down. Next Liberator will be targeted. Stalker's still falling. 2 Cyclones, Marines left over. 2 Zealots, well, a lot of Zealot SCVs. 2 Zealots, yes, doing a lot of damage. 10 SCVs killed. The rest of the SCVs coming across the map. He's going to start trying to go for that one pylon as well. This is very close right now. If he gets that next pylon, suddenly these gates are unpowered, but maybe Neeb just has enough up already because uThermal can't build anything else. He'll pull the SCVs in, which will be his kind of last fight with these units, I guess. This is crazy. I mean, Neeb's actually building the mothership core, which might just help in the one final engagement. There's actually a second tank from uThermal. I didn't realize that, so he pulls that forwards as well. We'll siege that up. Everything is going down. And maybe uThermal's army is just a little bit too strong here towards the very end. Pylons in the back as the mothership core will still be kind of a major part of this. He actually drops the overcharge to the left-hand side, right-hand side, which gives uThermal time. I mean, that's the thing. When an overcharge comes down, uThermal can just back away. Neither player is going to gain more units. Cybercore under fire. No gateway or anything from Neeb. I mean, what's he even meant to build? He's building probes, because honestly, at this point, the probes might just be enough to help out. Here we go. Tanks are targeting, firing down the Stalkers. Warp Prism will come in to try and micro. Marine's going to be very important in this as well. As he tries to get rid of one tank, it goes down. uThermal still has a Cyclone, still has a lot of Marines, and the Stalkers are continuing to drop. All the SCVs are gone, apart from one, but uThermal takes down every single unit. GG! He takes game number 2 and ties this best of 5 up 3. Let's see what will happen. To the top right-hand side is going to be the blue Protoss player from Ting. It is Neeb. Down to the bottom left is going to be the red Terran player from Team Liquid. He's going to proxy for a second game in a row. It is uThermal. Alright, so for some reason we go to Europe and all our FPS dies. Oh, I just don't understand this European server. It absolutely hates me. Absolutely hates me. Anyways, we're going to see this probe starting to move down towards the bottom left. Going to scout once again, and Neeb for the second time here in this series realize that this is going to be well, we'll realize that this is going to be a proxied opening. We'll see if uThermal does it exactly the same, or if he's going to be see if he's going to be kind of proxying the factory as well as the barracks, which he does, and looks for uThermal here early on to be the exact same opening. So the exact same for now. This factory is on the way up, about 25% of the way done so far, and just going to be seeing a pylon on the high ground. I wonder if Neeb just defends the high ground from the very start this time around, because you can already see no pylon on the low ground here. So no pylon on the low ground, very different to before. And it looks as though Neeb is going to change up the way in which he tries to deal with this aggression. So we're just going to be seeing this Cybercore finishes up over here, and we are going to be seeing the Nexus on the way down. I mean, he will probably leave the Nexus, right? Because in a way it's 400 minerals, but it buys him time. where he's not going to be under attack, I suppose. Like, I guess so. He's actually going to drop the factory onto the reactor. And guess reactor cyclones here in game number 2. Game number 3, sorry. I think in game number 2 because I just came out of that proxy game. I think this is the second proxy game in a row. But third game, it's going to be the reacted cyclones on that side of the map. And actually the barracks is just going to be flying forward. So, very different way to set up here. And we've seen this barracks flying through. And, well, an SCV being chased away by an adept already. And let's see what's going to happen. So, Marine just continuing his way through the natural. It's such a weird one. The thing is, Neeb is actually skipping the mothership core, which I don't think is the right decision. Oh, he does have a mothership. He's sending it across the map. Ah, well that's actually awkward, because now uThermal has to make a decision as to what he wants to do. Because in a way, uThermal can keep pushing forward with these cycles and get a lot done. But at the same time, he's going to lose a lot if this mothership core gets over. Well, I mean, the mothership core will eventually kill all the workers, right? So, it's a bit of a weird one. Pro's being pulled in to help fight these cyclones. I mean, the problem is there's just no anti-air at home at all. He's just got, just so little damage to go. Okay, just get rid of the overcharge. 5 workers killed, 1 cyclone down. I mean, 2 more stalkers about to pop, though. Neeb is going to be able to push this back, and I wonder if uThermal just needs to go home. I mean, but what happens by the time he gets home? Does he just lose too much? Is it just worth him just staying over here still? I guess, maybe. He's going to get 1 stalker for free as Neeb misrallies into the army. Cyclone's still up on the high ground. Pylon is going down. He will empower the gateway, so no more units. Pros will come in to surround. Another stalker starting to fall. Oh my god. The Cyclones are getting very low as well, though. And now the probes are in a lot of trouble. Another Pylon will start to build. 2 more Cyclones on the way up still. As uThermal is just happy to leave his units over here dying. Overcharge comes up. uThermal will lose some of his last mining, as he's going to be able to pull units in once again. The thing is, he should never let this pylon really finish for an extended period of time on these gateways, right? So, another pylon falls, the gates are still empowered, and Neeb has to type out GG once again, because he doesn't have a way to fight the Cyclones. Despite killing 16 workers across the map, it could be a way to kind of come back in the game. It's a hard one to explain, because it's tough to kind of imagine that kind of having the Nexus helps him at all. But I mean, you know, it's Neeb, right? So we've got to assume he sort of knows what he's doing. And it's not like he was under a huge amount of pressure there right from the get-go. Unless he's literally never played against proxy factories before, then I don't know. The other problem is as well, he sees it's a proxy, but he doesn't know it's a proxy factory too, I guess, for a little while. That means he can't just cancel the Nexus straight away, because if it's just a proxy reaper and you cancel the Nexus, you're in a really bad position. Like a really, really bad position. Top left side of the map is once again proxy, and the blue Terran player, he's not letting up. It is Team Liquid's uThermal. And in the upper right hand side, it is going to be the red Protoss player from Ting. It is Neeb. Neeb once again scouts, and let's see if this time around he'll cancel the Nexus, I guess. I guess we'll see if he realizes that this is something he has to do. I guess that will solve the discussion for us ourselves if we see what Neeb does. Because, I mean, this time if he cancels the Nexus, then maybe he realizes that he made that mistake before. If he leaves the Nexus up, then maybe it's going to be a bit different. SCV finishes, looks slow again, a Marine, not a Reaper, and, well, Factory going to come down once again. Neeb scouts, he's just like, really? Again? 3 games in a row? I mean, to be fair, Neeb looked very scary in that macro game, so uThermal obviously not wanting to kind of go back to that. At least with how he's playing right now, it's very apparent that that is not how he wants to be playing, so... We'll be seeing the Factory on the way reactor builds. We've seen this build twice in a row now. I'm going to watch it once more as we're going to be seeing this Marine popping up this ramp and, well, having a little bit of a scout around, picking up some information. We'll see that Neeb this time indeed doesn't build the Nexus, so he does indeed change up his game plan. So maybe it was a mistake not cancelling the Nexus last time around. I will admit that I was wrong. I mean, it's one of those things, though. Sometimes you'll see players who do leave the Nexus up in the hopes that it will help them to defend, in the sense that maybe they can, you know, get some extra probe production to recover after the damage has been dealt with, and all the rest. This time he realizes that he probably doesn't need the Nexus at all, and he's going to need as many gateways ASAP to help him defend this. So he is going to change things up this time, adapting as we go. So, to the guy who I tried to call out in the chat, you were completely correct, and I was the one that was wrong. I like proving my I like being wrong lately, apparently, as we're going to see probes getting in here, and already SCVs will have to pull in to fight these pylons. And we're going into the exact same situation as what we saw in game number 3. uThermal fully surrounding these pylons with these SCVs. And I'm just going to be, well, seeing one pylon cancel. Mothership Core is not going to be here in time. Actually turns his Mothership Core around and brings it back home. So you'll see a Stalker going down instantly. That's the problem. Like, the damage output of these Cyclones is insane. Another Adept goes down there. Very far forward, these Cyclones, though, and there's the MSC. Target fires, but doesn't get the Cyclone kill. One Cyclone stops, and he is going to be able to protect his Cyclone friend. And that SCV will repair it up. 2 more Cyclones about to pop out. uThermal will be left unhindered at home this time around. So he's going to be able to keep on mining a little bit more easily than he did last time. But now I wonder if he just sets up a soft contain on Neeb's base, right? Because now Neeb is going to sit and, well, build up a couple more Stalkers. But he can't move out in towards his natural expansion. So it's a bit of a weird one. It's a bit of a tougher spot right here. As we're going to be seeing the Stalker and the Sentry working their way through this racks. Actually, Forceful actually going to come down. This Cyclone is going to get very low. Just manages to escape to the corner where the other Cyclones are kind of in range for a little while. Now he loses high ground vision because the barracks is being pushed back to the back, though. I'm just going to be seeing this pylon overcharge once again. Rack's still flying around here, and we're just going to be seeing the Cyclones still looking to see what else is going on. I mean, they're going to pick off one more Zard. Mothership Core has not got the energy just yet for an overcharge, so here we go. Cyclones are up the ramp, and they're going to keep on fighting. Another Stalker going down. I mean, the damage output of these Cyclones is insane. They're a little bit squishy, though, so I mean, as there's some mortal pops, for example, they'll start to go down very quickly. We're going to see this next pylon going down as well. uThermal actually supply blocking Neeb right now. He's going to just target down this next pylon, which the overcharge was dropped on. 5 Stalkers against 4 Cyclones, which are kind of half health already. uThermal pulling back nicely, as he does still lose 2. He takes down pretty much every Stalker. 1 gets away. Now targeting the Robo facility. This Immortal might not even see the light of day here, as he does get it down to half health, but the Robo will be saved by Probes pulling in, and the Stalker moving forwards as well. Cyclone's still looking to see what else is going on. The Probes pull back in towards the main base. I'm just going to be seeing the defense from Neeb is legit right now. 4 Cyclones, now 5. He's still just making Cyclones as uThermal. But Neeb a player on an expansion, right? So, I mean, he's actually going to pull a few SCVs. I guess the repair can help a lot with some of these Cyclones. Neeb is pulling his Probes in with this, keeping them at the front to help out. Now, this Immortal is so important to keep alive. If the Immortal stays alive, the damage output on those Cyclones is crazy large. As I guess now the SCVs can pull over, and I guess he can repair up these Cyclones a bit faster, which is kind of what he needs. Get his way up here once again, nice and quick, but now the force field's available too. I think this is more or less a hold from Neeb, but the problem is, again, how do you take an expansion? Well, the Warp Prism will be the answer to that. To get the Warp Prism, I guess he'll counterattack across the map, either with all of his army, or just a bit of it. And he'll hopefully pull uThermal away, so that he can push down this ramp and go from here. Resources lost, very favourable to uThermal, so it's been going very well for him up until now. As we're going to be seeing a couple more units warping in from Neeb. Warp Prism is going to be everything, I think. I mean, for now, uThermal has nothing back at home. Stalker's just checking these units are still there, and yes, indeed they are. They're still sat on this low ground, ready to strike. There we go, 3 Stalkers. 2 Stalkers and a Zealot actually load up, so he's just going to go for the Zealot. But look at this, uThermal leaves 1 Cyclone at home. He knows what happened last game, he knows what his weakness was, and he is looking to fix it right here. Neeb looking to poke down the ramp, doesn't find anything just yet. Zealots will warp in. Now 2 Cyclones back at home. uThermal's playing this very smartly, just sending a unit net back home every now and then, just to make sure he's got more than enough to defend against the Warp Prism, which is the one thing he might really struggle against at this point, while basically just containing Neeb onto one base and expanded himself. So, really, uThermal in a position now where, I mean, you look at this and what does Neeb do? Well, again, I mean, the Warp Prism play is smart, it's clever, but is it going to be enough? SCVs will pull in to tank/repair these Cyclones. One Cyclone getting kind of low as, I mean, Neeb will do some good damage, but again, I mean, he's killing off workers. Is it enough? He has to get enough killed here so that uThermal ends up so far behind that his natural expansion can't help him back into the game. So, kind of a weird position. We see one of the Cyclone gets taken down. The other staying alive, 13 workers killed. Another of these Cyclones going to be sent back home, and uThermal actually pulling his Cyclones back across the map. Maybe a bit of a bad decision here, because he may have really wanted those to help him defend. I mean, what are they doing across the map right now? Well, not really anything else. He'll use the Liberator to keep pushing forwards. I can't agree with this from uThermal. He's wanting to keep on attacking, but he could have just defended this and kept it alive, at least another 8 workers or so. I mean, there we go. The Cyclones coming in now. This should be enough of them, but, I mean, truly, this is maybe a bit too late for uThermal. You can see the Stalkers looking up in the Warp Prism. Cyclones will lock onto the Warp Prism now. Have to cancel that when the Stalkers drop down once again. uThermal down by 13 workers. And he will scan, and he will just kill off the Warp Prism if the Stalker's inside, so that's a big pickup. So uThermal stays alive. 13 workers down, but 2 bases against 1, so it's recoverable. Very tense situation. A very tense situation. Another Immortal on the way up. Being a very delayed second Immortal, and maybe that second Immortal earlier could have given him the real firepower to target down kind of Cyclones quickly to push down this ramp. But now with this Liberator here as well, it's just a very difficult position. And we're seeing these few SCVs coming over to the left-hand side. uThermal not going to morph in an orbital just yet on his natural, which is actually quite a big deal. It means he is missing out on mules. So while he's on 2 bases, that's weird. It's such a weird situation, this game. Neeb was definitely taking a big eco lead, but again, uThermal can fight his way back into that. Neeb's army supply looking good as well, and I wonder if it gets to this point where Neeb can just come down the ramp and fight. Maybe another Warp Prism. He's actually building the Warp Prism. I wonder if he actually just lifts over here and comes in from 2 angles, so he can avoid having to fight down this narrow ramp. That might be the one thing which really helps him to engage into these Cyclones and to clean this up this time around, something he's not really been able to do yet. Liberator being used as target practice right now for this Cyclone. Second Liberator. Void Ray in the sky as well will help a lot with getting rid of the Liberators, of course. G in the fight, target them down would be quite nice, although 2 Cyclones lock onto this Void Ray straight away. Snared Adepts, taking a couple of shots from the Liberators as well. As Neeb is actually going to start up an expansion on the gold base, so sneaks a probe out over here. And now he's going to load up those Immortals. Is he going to drop those? No, he's actually going to take them across the map. I mean, he's going to drop them, but I thought he might drop them over here and again go for that kind of pincer movement as I was mentioning. So going to move forwards. Void Ray tries to come in here and no scan. As however, Cyclones get caught and no high ground vision. Oh, there is actually from the Liberator. He's still going to lose 2 of these Cyclones. It's a lot of damage taken. Now these Immortals across the map, although Warp Prism taking some shots. It will actually go down. Cyclone locks on, so Warp Prism dies. We'll back away from these Immortals while he waits for this barrier to fade. A few more SCVs pull in. The Immortals will be under fire from the Cyclones now as the battle begins. But I think these Immortals are going to go down. Losing the Warp Prism is a big deal. Generally, if Immortal drops, the idea is that because you have the Warp Prism, the Immortals just never die, and so you're actually very safe to attack and to keep on attacking. And that's obviously not the case right now. We're going to be seeing... Well, they're still just gathering up in the main base. Another Void on the way, another Warp Prism on the way. Cyclone on the way out from uThermal on the low ground, and is that a recall? It is indeed. The probe's on the gold, and that's something that uThermal just does not know about. He doesn't realize that Neeb has the gold base, and it's the one thing that Neeb might just be able to use to sneak back into this game after truly being, I mean, in honesty, I mean, in a lot of ways he did enough damage to kind of get back in before and to be in a decent position even against a 2-base Terran, but he was still kind of breaking out into his own 2 bases, which he has now done, but is it just too late? 5.3k to the 4.3k lost. Resources. Really crazy sort of position here in game number 4. I mean, Neeb's tournament life is on the line. He's someone we look at and we think, well, he could go all the way. He could win this entire tournament. But if he gets stopped by uThermal here early, well, clearly it's not going to happen. Next opponent in this series of the bracket is True, of course, before they go up against Scarlet, then Pig, and then Snoot to make it through to the loser bracket 3rd, 4th place match. Long way to go today, basically. Lots of matches coming up. We're going to see Cyclones moving over here. Motion Shift will go down. Overcharge will pop just in time. So uThermal finds out about the gold base. He loses his own natural expansion. Under fire by a lot of these Protoss units. So it's kind of a trade-off where, well, I mean, uThermal is basically going to kill his opponent's gold base for him losing his own natural. So both players going down to 1 base again. uThermal in favor, though, because he can lift up this orbital and reposition it, whereas Neeb can't. And actually, Neeb is more mined out than uThermal is across the map. You've seen the Void Rays coming forward, and actually with 3 Void Rays, actually uThermal doesn't have that much anti-air. Like, Cyclone anti-air isn't very good, and it's a nice force field to trap these Cyclones in as well. The gold base is not going to end up going down. And again, neither is uThermal's command center on the natural. 16 probes against 28 SCVs. However, Neeb has taken position on the map, so suddenly he's able to start working his way through this starport, through this factory. Now uThermal's going to lose some of his vital production here in this game. Cyclone sitting up on the high ground doing a little bit more damage as well. Warp Prism from Neeb moving around too, looking to see what direction he can keep on moving in over the next few moments. These next 2 Cyclones going to be popping shortly. Has he got a factory at home? Is it just the 2 of them screwed up? Yeah, it's just the 2 screwed up from the reactor being killed. SCV's going down as well as a Void Ray comes across the map. Turret in location, but it's not far enough forward just yet, and uThermal will end up typing out GG, just to not have an army to compete. And Neeb is able to clean. Again, you might have seen it on the break screen, but just in case you were not paying attention because you had ads, because you're a nice person and watch ads to support the stream. You're awesome, thank you. True versus uThermal / Neeb is our next series up. So basically the winner of this plays True in the next best of 5 in the next round of the losers bracket. After this, Scarlet will play the winner of True / uThermal / Neeb. Then we'll jump into Nurture's match where he's going to be playing in losers round 6 or so. He has Stats / Keen / Demilove in his bracket and Patreus if I'm not mistaken. Then we'll be back into this section of the bracket after the winner of Scarlet True to uThermal and Neeb plays Pig. And then we'll play against Snoot. Then we jump up to the upper bracket. We'll be casting Beyond versus Kalazur before the lower bracket. 3rd, 4th place match, which is the lower bracket semi-final, lower bracket final, and the grand final will finish us off today. So that is, in case you aren't realizing, like 7-ish more best of 5s and a best of 7. There's a lot of StarCraft coming in. Guys, let's, well, we've got Neeb here. And this time it's going to be a proxy factory. So not a proxied barracks. uThermal going to change things up here on Newkirk Precinct. So a little bit of a different way to go about things right now. Let's see how things end up going over the next few minutes. We're going to be seeing this probe moving out. Going to go over to the left-hand side, get back home. uThermal for now just looking as though he's sort of expanding. Like, you know, Neeb's been in. Only saw one gas. And that's all he knows about. So for Neeb, this looks very standard, but I love it. Just in case Pylon at the front doesn't want to be caught off guard too early on. So Pylon at the front of the natural, so he's got that there already. And it is just going to be a Cyclone on the way out of this factory. And it looks as though it's going to be a starport here as well. The SCV staying put instead of going towards the scouters. Uh-oh, probe finds it. So the Cyclone is going to be found out already. So Cyclone / factory is known about. There's the starport on the way. I wonder if it's one Cyclone. He's going to go into a medevac now as well, and then Widowmine production. That's interesting. We'll see what happens. 2 Marines coming across the map. Going to find an Adept here mid-map. 2 Marines don't win the fight against one Adept, though. Maybe with a couple of SCVs in tow? Probably not. Another Marine's on the way over, which is what he's trying to get to help out right now. As this Adept looks as though it's going to end up shading away, but I mean, it's already slowing things down. Cyclone at the front starting to work his way through this Pylon. So this Pylon's going to be going down here. It does fall. It does give uThermal the chance to keep on pressuring forwards. The Pylon on top of the ramp now as probes pull away. Another Cyclone on the way. Mothership Core moving forwards as well. Another Stalker on the way out. I mean, there's not a lot here, but again, the Cyclone's just so good against these early gateway units and gets so much done. And also, it can't really shoot this Mothership Core. In fact, there just isn't really enough against this Mothership Core at all. As you see, the Cyclone keeps on turning. SCV now being targeted by the NFC, and now a second Cyclone will change things up as well. This MSC will get rid of the the SCV now. He will actually lock onto the MSC with one of these Cyclones. Second Cyclone must be careful, because their depth will go down too. And uThermal keeps his position on this low ground, holds it for now, continues to work his way through the Natural. So Natural continue to take a lot of damage here. Warp Gate finishing shortly as a Medevac comes in as well, giving a bit more micro potential, but the command center, the Nexus, is dead, and uThermal has already done a nice little bit of damage here. So at this point, uThermal can probably back away to some extent and sort of... I mean, he doesn't want to back away, but he can be happy that he's already kind of evened out the economic position in this. 2 Cyclones and, well, actually now a 3rd and 3 Marines as well. Gets rid of 1 Stalker already, and we continue to move around. Looks like he might jump up in towards the main base, where there isn't actually Pylons in a kind of a good forward position to help defend. He's going to need 1 more Marine to drop out of here. So this other Cyclone can come up, and here we go, pushing forwards. 1 Cyclone around the side is actually going to kind of just try and distract Neeb, and it is sort of working. The Cyclone finally going to force the overcharge. As uThermal going to start unloading back on the low ground. Medevac will try and do a little bit more. Cyclone's so low, and it does go down. uThermal a little bit of a mistake there, but he does kill the Immortal. So it's still like quite nice trades from uThermal overall. Liberator pushing forwards too. Neeb, what does he do next? Another Immortal on the way out immediately here, realizing that he needs that extra little bit of oomph against these Cyclones to really clean them out. Pylon at the front will go down. The damage taken there earlier on that means that it just drops super quickly right now, as Stalker's going to try and target down the Liberator, and he needs to be careful about his positioning. Should be able to hit it from his right-hand side, and he is able to, but the Cyclone's able to come forwards as well. 1 shot from that Liberator. That's the problem. The Liberator just does so much damage so quickly. A small mistake can very quickly mean 1 Stalker just disappears, and well then you're in a little bit of trouble. The tank coming in now as well to help uThermal keep on pushing. Still rallying Marines across the map. Some SCVs coming too. There's a Mortal coming in now as well. Another Cyclone has been taken down. Neeb continuing to look as though he might be able to defend here, as these Marines and this Cyclone toggling down the warp gate. Tank moves a little bit further forwards once again. Liberator still holding this position, and a nice shot onto the Immortal from the Siege Tank. The Siege Tank is one of the bigger issues right now, I guess, being able to have so much range. Overcharge goes down. Force Field tries to catch the Marines. It's not a good placement, though. Could have been a little bit better to just do that little bit more. And now a bunker coming up. Well, actually, the Immortal should be able to fight that there. As we see Stalkers to the left-hand side. Another overcharge. A couple of SCVs going down. 14 workers killed on the other side of the map as a Warp Prism has come over here, and so we're back to sort of what happened in that in that other game, where it kind of comes down to, can Neeb clean it out before uThermal, well, can uThermal clean it out and win the game before he loses all of his workers? So kind of a crazy situation. He's going to clean out these units, which gets rid of high ground vision, but the Liberator, suddenly only 2 tanks in the Liberator here, but that's still a lot of units, but not much anti-S. The MSC might be able to come in and work his way through a little bit of this. The Liberator sieges up again. These Stalkers not in the best of positions. Immortal 2 pushing forwards, gets rid of one of the tanks. Liberator relocates as well. This time the Stalker and the tank, and the Immortal moves away. Tank is repositioned. Another tank comes in. uThermal has lost 23 workers. His last SCVs are going down. His mule as well gets shut down before it can do anything. uThermal has to win the game with these units, but this Immortal has a barrier, and so this tank goes down quickly. Liberator sieges up to push forwards, doesn't get a shot though. Neeb pulls out of position. Another Immortal on the way out right here, as these Adepts across the map are still just getting so much done. So a lot of SCVs going down to this Warp Prism, and that is maybe going to make the difference. Mothership Core escapes on 5 health, as the Liberator really doing a good job of zoning here to the left-hand side. Neeb with the gateway in the back right. 1 Siege Tank. And Neeb going to warp in a couple more units, and that might just be what he needs to finish this off. He's got 1 more overcharge available soon. Liberator repositions. And here he goes. Stalker's going to spread out around the right-hand side. He's going to attack on in. Has the Immortal around the right side as well. He is going to get rid of the tank. The Cyclone as well going to go down. uThermal's on 5 supply, and he is going to lose out on this 5th game. GG. Neeb takes game number 5, and in the end he finds a way to fight against these 1